Yeah. Now we're.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
we're all set. I can see the lights.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Call the meeting of the Village of New Paltz Planning Board to order for July 21st, 2026. We have administrative business. Let me first say that our chairman is unavailable tonight and he's asked me to stand in. So I'm going to be looking to our staff and our consultants to help me out as I go along. Feel free if I wander off the path to bring me back. And the first thing we have are some updates, if we have any, of an environmental policy board. I don't think we do.
Yeah, Rachel appears to not be on, so we have none.
Okay, Director of Planning, Zoning and Code Enforcement.
Yeah, I just want to take a moment to introduce a new staff member, Caitlin Sumner. She's been with us now, it's her second week. She will be a clerk in the, for the planning and zoning boards and also for the building department. Will free up my time from doing some of the administrative, cover some of the other things, so, so you'll be working directly with her on some things, or you may be getting emails from her, so just wanted to introduce her. I let you guys, we have Duncan Dempsey, Terry Dolan, Nikki Nielsen, and you've met Lori O'Rourke, so.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Nothing to report from the Ulster County Planning Board or the Village Board. Unless, Rich, do you have anything where you're at as a village board member? Anything to mention?
Oh, well, I'm completely unprepared. No, just, I mean, yes, that, the dialogue around consolidation occasionally, has issues related to planning and zoning. And so there have been discussions about some laws that we have on the books in the village that may not be comparable, or there may not be comparable laws in the town that we've been considering. And also just the idea of, if there were to be a consolidation of the town and the village, that zoning would pretty much persist as in the zones that they currently are, at least for the outset of that. So that's the only kind of overlapping item I would say that I would share with the planning board. And I would share with the planning board, thank you.
You're welcome. Sounds like we have a job for a while, folks. Let's do it well.
And as far as the town planning board, checking on their site, they have two subdivisions, minor subdivisions they're reviewing. It looks like they're continuing to review the Dunkin' Donuts project, which is looking to move to where the Joe's property was. I haven't immersed myself in that application, so beyond that, I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I've seen on their plans. And that's all we have.
Anybody else?
Oh, one other quick thing. Historic Huguenot will be back on our agenda next meeting. And I sent you all a memo from our attorney about an hour ago. So at your leisure, it's in your email.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next order of business is public comment. We will open the floor to public comments on matters that are not scheduled for public hearings on applications. Is there anybody here?
Nobody signed up.
Anyone here that would like to make a public comment? Anybody online that we need to worry about?
Yes.
No. Okay. Then let's get to our first public hearing. This one is a continuation of a hearing that's been going on for a couple of meetings now. And my recommendation to the board is that we, again, let's leave it open again, because we are continuing to get more information from our consultants. We're going to hear from the applicant tonight. But let's consider looking at perhaps closing the public meeting after our next planning board meeting, the first part of April. I'm not saying, I'm making that as August.
I don't need to go to April.
Wow, that is even strong. August. See, see, I asked the consultants and their staff to help me out, but you guys gotta help me out too. Thank you for that. Anyway, I'm not saying that we're gonna make a decision to close it, but just put that in the back of your mind that maybe we just need to go through one more meeting. Because I think, we're gonna have a lot of information. We've reviewed a lot of information. And we do need to move things along a bit. So, that said, the public hearing is open. Is there anyone here who wants to make a comment about PB 26-01 Woodland Ponds?
So we have 3 people signed up. The first speaker is Matthew Hirsch.
Please come up and join us.
And if you have written comments,
So that's
perfect.
the board. Again, try to keep this short. Respect your time. I am requesting balloon testing to accurately represent the peaks of the proposed building. In my opinion, there's been considerable misrepresentation from Woodland Pond regarding the impact and the height of these buildings to the surrounding neighborhood. The current renderings and vague screening plan visuals from odd angles have been inadequate. They did acknowledge in the recent meeting that the buildings will be as high as 42 feet in places. Current height variance is approved after referring to them as 30 feet or less. The rendering of my home included trees in my properties that do not exist. Woodland Pond drastically underestimated EMS 911 calls as 2 or 3 times per week. FOIL request data, 345 calls that were assigned to the rescue squad in 2025. 352 calls in 2024, 351 in 2023. That's just rescue squad. 911, 398 in 2025, 411 in 2024, 420 in 2023. That is not 2 to 3 calls a week. During the last planning board meeting, Woodland Pond claimed that electric vehicles are going to shuttle residents from the satellite to the main campus. Recently, the Woodland Pond resident actually complained that the Woodland Pond fleet of vehicles has not been transitioned to a hybrid electric. The CEO responded in a video to the residents, and she believed the electric vehicles of that size were unfeasible. And this may come across as trivial to some, but to me, it points to a pattern of contradictions. And for these reasons that I've outlined above, Woodland Pond should be required to provide balloon testing to accurately represent the impact of these massive and add a character to my neighborhood buildings. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, the next speaker is David Smith.
Yes.
You want to email that? Thank you very much.
Hello. Members of the Village of New Paltz Planning Board, audience, and online watchers. Hello, neighbors. My name is David Smith. I previously addressed you the last time Woodland Pond had an application under consideration. My wife and I have lived at Woodland Pond for almost 9 years. Prior to that, we were semi-locals, having lived in Orange County all our lives. We were both SUNY New Paltz graduates. We chose Woodland Pond as it offers a continuum of care, should we need it, and opportunities for a fulfilling and rich lifestyle for as long as we're able to enjoy it. We are a community of lifelong achievers and doers and bring those attributes into our new community life. We contribute to the local community. We participate in local events. This is our forever home. Woodland Pond offers various choices as to size and type of apartments for cottages, refunds, and amenities. I feel that there are many more early baby boomers like my wife and I that can and will choose to be part of the Woodland Pond community given the opportunity provided by this proposed expansion project. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you very much. You want to share that?
Yeah.
Give that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The next speaker is Jacqueline Hirsch.
So,
Hello.
also gonna keep it short. I just asked that the planning board require Woodland Pond to submit a detailed operational management plan for refuse collection and noise mitigation before approving the site plan. After reviewing the current plan, and I can't say for sure because I'm not able to read all of the documents, I couldn't find anywhere where
We do not advocate for or against development projects. Our responsibility is limited to monitoring and enforcing the perpetual obligations we hold on over 3,000 acres of protected land here in Ulster County. In this capacity, we evaluate whether proposed activities are consistent with specific legal terms of these conservation easements. Following a review of the site plans for the Woodland Pond expansion submitted in January, the Land Trust provided technical feedback to the Woodland Pond individuals and copied this response to the planning board on March 10th, 2026. We identified that the initial proposal included certain features, specifically a pedestrian trail, a road, and a retaining wall within the area protected by the existing conservation easement. Under the terms of the 2009 agreement, this area is intended to remain in its natural state with no alterations to the landscape. Woodland Ponds team was immediately responsive to this feedback and submitted updated progress prints on April 13th, 2026. After our committee reviews the revised sheets, specifically SG1 and SP1, the Walkabout Land Trust issued a follow-up letter on April 22nd, again copying the planning board, confirming that the updates to the plan successfully relocated all proposed features outside of the existing conservation easement. Based on our review, the current site plan does not conflict with the terms of the conservation easement that we currently steward. Finally, with respect to the additional acreage associated with this expansion, the Land Trust has expressed a willingness to discuss a potential new conservation easement to protect the surrounding wetland areas on this additional property. Any such easement would be subject to our standard conservation easement review and acceptance process, which has not yet begun. Thank you for letting me take some time.
Thank you. I'm looking at our attorney. Do we need that as a legal opinion from the Hudson Valley, from the Land Trust?
I think that now,
Or is
it's
that good
already,
enough?
considering it's already in the record with these written submissions, including the April 22nd submission, response that says that it complies, that should be sufficient.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have a comment about the Woodland Ponds project? Hearing none, we're going to keep the public hearing open at this point. So we go to the next item on our agenda, which is a new application, PB 26-12 for 26 Milrock. Oh, Rich Soto?
Yes. Board members need, I do have a little bit bigger picture, but I printed you 8.5 by 11 version, so.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Then, I just have one sentence on why.
Like technicality.
It's a change in the footprint of the site plan. So it's adding a deck where there is no structure right now.
Okay,
So under the current code, it needs to come here.
but in our new code, it would not.
If we ever get to that point, yes.
That's it. Rick?
Yes, so we are interested in building a deck. We'll be removing just a landing that currently comes off the back of our home. The landing is, I don't remember the exact dimensions, but it's about 5 by 8 feet. And the deck that we will be building is just a platform deck with very few features that is about 16 feet by 15 foot 9 inches. It does not impede on the setback. It's the line of the house so that it's certain to not impede on the required side setback. It does not exceed our impervious surface for our property. It does not require railings because it's only 2 steps off the ground. And as far as we know, yes, because of the scale of it, anything larger than 10 by 10 needs to have a site plan review. But as far as we know, there's nothing that is going to require any other changes other than, I guess, a public hearing and your permission.
Any questions from the board? Pretty straightforward in my opinion. Thank you very much, Rich. We have to we don't have, we should classify this as a type 2 under seeker. Does that take a vote?
Yes, yes.
Do I hear a motion to classify this application as type 2 under seeker?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. I would recommend we set a public hearing as soon as we can. We can do it at the next meeting. I would like to do that. Is that fine? So do I hear a motion? Does that take a motion to?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to set a public hearing for August 4th for this application? Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. That's done. And I would also like us to consider authorizing the preparation of an approval resolution. Do I hear a motion to authorize that by our attorney?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none. That's done. Rich, you are all set for August 4th for a public hearing, and if all goes well, you'll probably have your approval for a resolution, and you can move to the building permit stage.
Okay, that sounds
Thanks
great.
for coming in,
Thank you.
and thank you for your service.
I'll get you the notices for the hearing.
Okay, great.
Can I grab that copy?
Yeah, thanks for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Good to see you.
Thanks, you too.
So our next application is PB 26-13 at 15.5 North Front Street. And once again,
Also sometimes known as 17, but it depends on which report you look at, so.
I wasn't aware they had one. You know, I saw that, Mike, and I just want to make sure the fire department has the right.
Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Patrick Wang. I'm the owner of the property of 15.5 North Front Street, now known as 17 North Front Street. After a very lengthy rebuild process, we're finally at the stage of getting this thing operational. But unfortunately, there's a couple things that were left out of the original site plan. I think you have a copy of everything I have. We wanted to do outdoor seating, which there was no, doesn't seem there was a record of outdoor seating plans. So that was one of the things. You can see the layout. We want to construct in the existing property line out to the property border to construct a platform or a deck. There's approximately at a high point, as you might know, North Front Street has a significant slope that goes down. And to build it to become ADA compliant, everything was leveled out to the existing sidewalk level. And because of that, and whatever in the build process, there might have been some soil removal and whatnot. So we had about 10.5 inches on the high side and about 6 inches on the low side that we just kind of want to build a deck out to be able to put external garbage cans for people to throw their refuse and put up a fence to delineate between the property line. We get a lot of people walking through in between the two buildings between 15.5 and 19, where people cut through that parking lot and just kind of cross right in between those two. That's part one. Part two was also in that construction process. We also don't have a signpost anymore. So we need to, we're asking for permission to erect a signpost to be able to hang a sign on that corner. And while we're at that, that would also involve building possibly a roll-away awning to protect that side during, inclement weather or whatnot, if people want to sit outside in that area. And the final thing is in the back, we're requesting to have a small awning. The way they had designed it, we didn't realize how much wind would change given the building is now 2-story instead of 1, that the rain consistently, like today, just hits the building. Whereas in the front, it's not a problem, it has an overhang, but in the back, we have no overhang at all. So.
Okay, any questions from the board? Mike, I think you and the staff have reviewed this application and all the proposals.
Yeah, I just want to clarify though, and I apologize, I was looking at the screen for a moment. Did you say you're gonna add a small overhang now?
Just a little awning, less than 4 feet.
An awning, not
Yeah.
a permanent.
No, it's like an awning in the
Okay.
back to cover the.
That's just
door.
covered under under, the zoning code, they're allowed,
Okay,
yeah, so.
very good.
Do you mind if I just say, on Muni Lab, often there's a place to put in the, if you are requesting a special use, permit, which outdoor cafes do require a special use permit, then it has a place for you to answer a few questions. And I think you may have accidentally marked no, that you weren't seeking a special use permit. So if you could just go back in and mark yes and answer those questions, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, so this needs a special use to add the outdoor seating, just like other properties that we've reviewed. And a relatively minor site plan change for that railing and that small area that he wants to, for a small concrete area, and then for the signpost itself. The sign can be applied for later directly through the building department. If the board wants to see, as long as it's code compliant, if it wasn't code compliant, we'd have to send it to the zoning board of appeals, so. It's your call if you wanna ask him to see the sign now, but it will be reviewed later by the building department.
That's the pleasure of the board. I'm fine. I'm gonna give it to the building department, in my opinion. Sure. Something we need to worry about. I think the next thing on the list from our attorney is to consider the B2 district standards in the village code. You'll have to help me out and tell me what those standards are and
Yes.
what we should be considering.
All those, sorry. And Mike, you're welcome to weigh in on this as well. I know you're very familiar with those standards, so. Oh, geez, my Wi-Fi is slow.
212-13.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
that's right as well.
13F.
Yes. So. Often, let's see, I think the main ones that we'll pay attention to are probably the streetscape standards, and the building design standards, which include that, the building design standards include that the shop front shall be, I guess, in a shop, so,
I'm sorry, the shop front.
there's quite a few in here, but, so, and it's a little bit difficult for me to apply them without looking specifically at the plans, but a lot of them include like architectural features and windows shall be, continued on all sides of the building. Mechanical equipment, whether ground mounted or roof mounted, shall be completely screened from adjacent properties. Awnings are permitted along street frontages, and may encroach up to 6 feet into the front setback. And over the sidewalk, obviously, I don't think you were saying it was a back one.
It's actually, for the back.
Okay, yeah,
And
so that would
possibly
be fine.
probably on the side, but nothing into the sidewalk side.
Yes, okay, and then so another one is refuse containers shall be accessible to waste haulers, but enclosed and located so that they are concealed from public
We
view.
have a dumpster in the back that they come for service. This would just be for customers to be able to throw their waste once
Okay.
they're done eating, and then we would collect that and move it into the dumpster.
Okay, and then, you did say it's a railing, not a fence, right?
It would be a railing.
Okay,
Combination railing fence in order to prevent people from going back and forth, and gap small enough so that small children wouldn't slip through to standards appropriate.
okay, so I will note that, walls and fences shall be constructed of vinyl or natural materials.
Yeah.
So just note that, and then I believe that's the main ones
It
that,
says vinyl or natural.
yeah. I know, I thought that, yeah, I know. Yeah.
So no metal?
Yeah, they might be, yeah, well, it's interesting, because you're right, it even says such as wood, like, I mean, some people might say. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't say metal, but maybe metal might be considered natural, depending on the definitions.
What's unnatural? I mean,
Yeah,
If you're including vinyl.
exactly, that's, I don't see how vinyl is more natural than, metal, but I believe those are the main ones that apply.
If the building department gets an application for a metal fence, we have allowed them, so, but this is specifically in the B2 district.
Yes, it is, yes, yeah, but yeah, so, just,
Yeah, we would match it with the building facade already.
Okay, yeah, and that's in a few of these too,
Yeah.
that, to try to keep that, comprehensive design. And if you could have trees, or obviously I know bicycle lane might not be possible for you, but I do think trees are an important
We
aspect.
don't have any dirt on the.
Yeah,
Okay,
property goes right
Fair.
to the side.
Goes
all
right to the
right,
side.
yeah, I think those are the main requirements that would apply to you. Because this isn't a new, it falls into the non-conforming use, so it's not.
And the building already received,
Yeah, it's
4 years
not-
ago, received a building permit. It's only because of the addition that he wants to add and the new use of the outdoor seating that he's here.
Okay, yeah, so I think we've covered the B2 requirements at this point.
I think so too. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, thank you.
We do have to, according to our staff, we do have to refer this to the Ulster County Planning Board. Mike, because of the outdoor seating?
Because it's a special use and it's within 500 feet of a county or state road,
Oh,
it
okay,
requires referral.
okay.
I don't suspect they're gonna have any comments, but it's not, it doesn't rise to the level of the exemption, so.
Okay.
We need to refer it.
Do I hear a motion to refer the application to the Ulster County Planning Board?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, hearing none, we move on.
We also, we had skipped over setting it as type 2 action.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Do I hear a motion to classify this as a type 2 seeker?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, hearing none, we move on.
Thank you for your time.
Whoop, not yet.
Well,
One more thing. We want to consider setting a public hearing. Again, if we could do that on the 4th of
Okay.
August, that would be great. So do I hear a motion to set a public hearing on the application for August the 4th?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, hearing none, we move on. And that's August 4th, not April. Thank you very much.
and Patrick, I will email you the notice soon.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, our final application tonight is PB 2601 Woodland Pond. And I think we look forward to hearing from the applicant. Oh, there's-
Good evening, everyone.
Hello?
Could you just, since we had a lot of people there, could you just take a second and introduce everybody so we can get it reflected in the record?
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Dave Roberts, I'm the Director of Capital Projects and Campus Development at Woodland Ponds. Kenny Cosenado from LRC.
Michael Fishman from Edgewood Environmental Consulting.
Amy Patain, project planner with LRC.
Connor Turbo with PBDI Environmental Consultant. So, Mr. Chairman,
Okay,
good.
yeah, I think we're good.
So last time we were here, we started going through the part 2. We, had a few sections that we didn't get to. So I know there was a section that, your environmental consultant was asked to look at. I believe we got a response to that just this afternoon from Capital. So I was hoping that we could continue on that path of reviewing the sections of part 2 with the board. And
I've been asked by the chairman that we postpone it to the next meeting, that review of seeker. I get that right?
Yeah, only because we just got the traffic report at 5 o'clock today.
okay,
So other than printing it and putting it up on Municipal app, nobody's, including myself, has looked at it yet. We did get earlier today, the responses from Capital about the question 7. And I will say they found all of them to be no or small impact, but
right.
if we're not gonna do the traffic, we might as well just cover all that at the next meeting. That would be my recommendation.
Okay. We did get comments from the fire department. I do believe there's a little bit of a discrepancy in the fire code. In the sense of how you read fire code versus village code versus heights and all of the nuances to that, so I'm gonna reach out to the fire inspector and sit down with him and the architect and work through how we can solve the concerns he has. I don't believe there's anything that is a quote unquote show stopping. They may make some minor adjustments to the plan, but they're nothing that would change the course, so to speak. The materials of the board, the buildings are above and beyond. They're all sprinklered. They're all got standpipes. They have all the things above and beyond what would be required in a two-story residential structure. So there's a couple more things to work with them, but we'll work through.
That's fine.
Other than that, we really have nothing for the board new this evening, unless the board has questions that they'd like to continue through discussion so that we can be prepared to move forward with procedure components.
I don't have anything on seeker.
Yeah, I didn't know, do you want to respond to any of the county planning board comments tonight?
We haven't, did we get?
He handed them to me when we came in.
Oh, I thought you already had.
No, I did not already have them.
Then in that case, probably not.
I don't think we should.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing there that's really.
Correct, you know what I mean, based on the last meeting, all the things that the county planning brought up, they're I-dotting and T-crossing in finalizing in, the plans, they're nothing that would change the course of where we are. We'll work through addressing and incorporating those into formal responses along with the others as we proceed through the process with the board.
Have there been any discussions or updates on your discussions with the rescue squad and resolving a number of those issues?
Yeah, we're continuing those discussions. We're still trying to, it's complicated with the data and so on. So that's where we're at the moment, but, we'll sit down with them again. And, within this purview, of course, we're talking about the impact on future services. And, we maintain that we're going to be, as equitable, treat everyone fairly, moving ahead. But at the moment, what we're trying to deal with is figure out where we are at the moment and, look at that data and also look at ways which, we discussed in the other meeting about how we can reduce our draw on their resources.
Gotta say that I think for moving forward, it is important to me to resolve what's existing before we make assumptions about future impact.
Yeah, we completely agree. Yeah.
And I will add to that, we did get, Amy received this afternoon from county DPW. Generalized their acceptance of the sight lines, the distance and the location of the drive, where it will come, where Amy
Yeah, and
requested.
I asked them to submit a letter to the board, just, with their feedback.
Okay.
So that we have it for the record for there. And Bill Greeley is going to have the discussion with them about one of the comments raised by them about putting a potential yellow light out there as well.
Okay.
And as long as they're willing to allow it, because they're the governing body over where they can do it, we're willing to proceed down that path.
So, we talked about the discrepancy in the data on the rescue squad, but there are other emergency services. Have we looked at whether there are any discrepancies in the data? Just to make sure, so we know that we're planning from and we're assessing impacts based on real things, like in addition to rescue squad, we have police and we have fire. I know that we've heard a public comment, 911 doesn't necessarily always translate the same way, so it would be good to understand how those other emergency services are impacted.
We'll reach out to both and work on getting some information for the board so that we have it.
Thank you.
I have one question about the flashing yellow light, that intersection, if that is. Are there any other solutions to that very busy intersection that would be created Are there any other solutions that are being thought about that are not just a yellow light? Perhaps something that might be more considerate to the New Paltz Rescue Squad as opposed to just placing the entrance and egress of the property directly opposite on the road?
Well, that entry to, or proposed entry is a double carriageway, so I think that helps enormously. But, we're responding to that need for a traffic light. That's what the rescue squad have asked for. Yeah, and that's why we're putting our efforts into getting that through the county. So our traffic engineer will be making that approach to the county. But aside from that, I mean, we have, I think our traffic report actually said that there was a low impact there that at, 10 vehicles at Big Town.
And Phil time is here, he's on Zoom.
Oh,
with us.
well,
You there,
Good evening.
Phil?
Good evening. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that intersection, to answer your question, Duncan, and Phil, correct me if I'm not wrong, but based on the traffic counts and the information that we have today, it doesn't warrant going as far as a light and all those things.
That's correct.
Woodland Pond is interested in doing that at the request of the fire or the emergency services. So that's really and Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, the best course of options for mitigation for that, where when they come out, the light turns, it stops traffic. It's the least impactful on a day-to-day because there really isn't much. It's not like it goes every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It could. Hopefully it never does. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But it could.
Yeah, just to add to that, Ken, if you can hear me. So,
Yeah.
the county's going to make the determination if it's warranted based on the initial information we have. It may not be warranted, but will they still permit it? That's what we're going to find out from the county. And then to answer your question, Duncan, is there anything else that could be done? If they say no to that, we have other items that we're willing to do, signing some additional advanced, even if it's not a full traffic signal, advanced flashing beacons. But to put it in perspective, on a peak hour basis, our development is not going to generate a real high number, okay, because it's just that limited enclave. But clearly, we're gonna work with the rescue squad, and we're going to be guided somewhat by the county, and we're going to do everything we can to mitigate and help their situation.
Okay.
I just want to be clear too, it's not as though that increase, because the increase of traffic is low. That's not the thing that's triggering the need for the lights. It's something that, they already see that they need because of the number of times they come out of that intersection are already difficult. So,
Okay.
This is an opportunity to make a change there for the better.
That's all.
Yeah, I think it is important to note that it's not the volume of traffic. It's, when duty calls, they only need one car in the way.
Yes, yeah.
And in deference to all the, members of the public safety community, I think many of our folks are volunteers.
Yes.
So we have to be very respectful of that. We appreciate your conversation with them. A flashing yellow light, is that activated by the emergency management services? Mike, do you know? That's how that works?
Yeah.
So when they're toned out, they can activate it?
I believe that the way it would be set up would be so that the rescue squad could control it. So it would go red in 3 ways, and they would have the access. And I believe similar to how the fire department would be able to open the gate that we've been discussing.
Yeah.
It'd be a similar thing electronically. I mean, I don't claim to know the technology behind it, but I know it exists.
Okay. And I know I may be speaking out of turn here a little bit, but the last time I was made aware of it, the dispatcher for our area. And unfortunately, there's only one on duty at any one time. And I worked in a community for 12 years that had one dispatcher on duty, 24 hours, 7 days a week. That is the weak link in this whole system. And it's a frightful link. It's not unusual for that dispatcher, if they have to use the restroom, they bring a handheld radio to the restroom. So any volume of fire, ambulance, or police calls goes through one human being. It's all by themselves. That's the weak link. Keep that in mind as we talk about what is the volume of calls of 81 new apartments. All going through one dispatch. I'm telling you right now, I'll tell anybody online, I'll tell anybody who wants to hear me. That's the weak link of this system. God bless the people who do it. It's enormously stressful, but they do it every day. They do it very well, I'm told, very, very well. But it's not, we can't separate the rescue squad from the police department, from the fire department. It all goes through one dispatcher. And it can become a problem.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox.
Thanks, Barry.
Anybody else? Anybody on the board?
Just before we're done, I just want to do a recap of sort of where we are on a few topics to make sure we're all on the same page, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we received the traffic's, our consultants late this afternoon. You have a copy, the board has copies. We'll review that. We heard back from Capital Environmental. The majority of items, I believe, have been addressed to their satisfaction, but just review that last comment memo that came in this morning. For the board, they did go through question 7, which was plants and animals on seeker, as we requested, and he detailed his answers on that. I know, Duncan, your 2 areas of seeker, you still had to review, I believe, unless you have answers to share with the board. And I think Rachel had 1 section. Nikki had done hers. Terry, I transmitted yours for you last meeting, and I think Zach went through his. In terms of the fire and emergency access and fire code, I sent the letter today on behalf of myself and the fire inspector. We'll be happy to meet with you, Ken, and go through it.
Yep.
We'll go from there. Those are, and then the county planning board comments, they're all required modifications. So if you have any comments back based on them and want to present them to the board, we'd appreciate that. Or is there anything else I'm forgetting at this point? We have a,
I think we're.
a large number of public comment.
Yeah, I think that's, everything we need to be thinking about right now. Down the road, we'll think more about the special use permit, but, I think.
But I would agree with you that we're probably coming to the point of considering at the next meeting, maybe closing the public hearing if we think, all the studies and review, the one other thing is, Dennis Larios had commented about the water and sewer with the new speedies laws that you had to request a permit direct from DEC.
Correct. Which is just a permit. You know what I mean? It isn't, we'll have to meet any of the comments that it doesn't stop us. We have the volume, we have everything like that. It's just another piece of paper that we have to fill out and go through. At the end of the day, DEC, no one's going to approve any of the permits until we have a negative declaration from this point.
So with that said, I would ask the members of the board, either those present or not here today, let's get all of our homework done by the next meeting so we can wrap this seeker up at the next meeting. If you have questions for the next 2 weeks, get to Mike. If he needs to send you to the consultants, let's do everything we can to finish up our work so we can be ready for the next meeting.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
David, can you anticipate now that we're at that point? coming back to the ZBA in August, or you wanna wait till, I mean, obviously, they have to convene a public hearing, so you're gonna have to come back to them one meeting prior to the
Correct.
public hearing. In the thought that secret may be,
Ideally, then I would say yes.
okay,
You
you
know what I
let me
mean?
know.
Yeah.
I need to know by the end of this month. No, by the end of this month.
Yeah.
So by the end of next week,
Yeah.
if you were gonna come back to the ZBA.
That would be our plan.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Just confirm.
So we can continue that process, come from you, if we're successful with the neg deck and we move through that process, we can then move to August, at the ZBA. Work through that process and then come back to the board to start talking through the specifics of special use permit and site plan approval.
Very good.
If we're successful there.
And one other thing, when you meet with the fire inspector, who also is the fire chief, he did have questions about the underground garage that perhaps you guys can talk about.
Perfect. And I was in conversation with the architect, the project architect today, so if it's necessary or makes better sense to do it in person, we can do that, or we can get them on
I
Zoom.
think it'd be better in person if you can.
Yeah, agrees.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll schedule it.
Thanks, Mike.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. Is there, I think that we've reached the end of our agenda.
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Be careful going home tonight. Everyone, be safe. Thank you. Thank you to the staff.
Good job for here.